Round 2 of potato harvesting. As you know, plants harvest at different times. We did the ones that were out in the raised beds in the garden, and now we're going to harvest the ones that we planted on camera in the raised bed and our wine bucket. So again, I have my trusty tool, my favorite potato tool. If you're gentle, this tool will not damage your potatoes. Just don't go stabbing it into the ground. And you can see that we have varying degrees, and this is just about right for what your potato plants need to look like. You want them to be dead. It makes your garden look horrible. It's very distressing, but this is exactly what they're supposed to do. When they're dying back like this, droopy, you should have stopped watering them so that your plant says, okay, I'm not going to concentrate on my foliage. I'm going to concentrate all my energy into my spuds underground. And that's their way of storage. So that's what they're doing, and that's what they're supposed to do. So although sad looking, this is exactly what you want them to do for good potatoes. I did not label my potatoes like I told all of you to do, so it's going to be a bit of a surprise. I have a feeling that these are going to be our red potatoes because those were the last ones that people are saying were dying off. So we'll see. Based on this one, looks like a huckleberry. You can see kind of the purple tinge in the thing. So we'll see if I'm right. This one's probably a white one or a rose or a red Norland, but we'll see. It's fun. So we're just going to gently. I did, in full disclosure, take some of them out just to check and see where we were along the way, so the soil is a little bit looser. And I also had 2 plants here that I harvested because we were hungry and we ate them. So, as expected, these are going to be the huckleberries, and that's just a little guy. Ooh. This is loose enough I don't actually need that. And I suspect there's some of those super pesky Peruvian purples in here. Like I said, they stayed from when I was using them as stump potatoes. So this is loose enough so I can just do it by hand, except for maybe a little bit deeper. And I'm kind of just checking here to make sure those guys are all gone. And then we'll just root around here. Aha! More of these little purple guys. Aha, more purple guys. Okay, purple Peruvians. These, don't plant them. They're horrible. They're evil. Aha, more purple guys. More purple guys. That's actually our spent seed potato. And thank goodness it wasn't mushy. It's gonna be hard for you to tell, but that's the shell of the seed potato, which all these came from. Okay. Oh, look. A dangling potato. And these little guys you can pull and use as new potatoes or ditch. They're totally edible, just kind of little. All right. Just gently. Oh yeah, there we go. So this guy was a huckleberry. Not too bad. I have a feeling I dug up a bunch of those ahead of time. See these purple Peruvians? You can tell the fingerling shape. Kind of evil. And more purple. Not the variety that we planted this year. That's a little huckleberry. Oh, more of these guys. More of these guys. Kind of mix these. Not thinking ahead. Another guy. Oh, 2 more guys. Wow. Some of the reports from other gardeners were saying that their ones in raised beds did a lot better just because the squirrels were digging everything up, and I think that's probably the case. So this is our second plant out of, there's more and more. Goodness gracious. Oh, here we go. Woohoo! These are going to be golden nuggets. That guy's going away. That guy's dying away. So these guys, I think I got some of these early. Oh, wow. So, aha. Golden necked guys. Okay, that's kind of odd. I didn't know if I've ever seen that before. A heart-shaped potato. Okay. More purples, more goldens, lots of goldens. Goldens, more purples, kind of a lot here. More purple guys. Oh my, we are getting quite a lot of potatoes here. Again, this tool fell off a long handle and I saved it, and I think it's just the best potato harvesting tool because of its big teeth. And if you're gentle when you put it in, you can kind of feel if you hit anything squishy or potato-y. And that's the bottom of the bed almost. So you can see, you don't really, if you see my arm, that's the depth of the bed, and with all these potatoes, so you really don't need a huge place or to dig that far down. More beautiful golden knee guys and new potatoes, and I can see more. Oh gosh, lots. Little guys, another fairly decent sized guy, little guy. I think I missed some purple guys, but we'll find them. The golden ones are a lot easier to find. Okay, this is our last plant. I think this was, oh, purple. Purple. Ooh. Get those guys off. Purple and some little new yellow guys. Oh, more yellow guys. I think I must have pulled a yellow plant up previously, and these guys were just left in the ground, which is fine. So they're kind of all mixed together. Actually, a little bit of fun. Ooh. I'm trying to get all the little ones out, even if they're not quite edible, because I don't want them to grow next year. Because I'm going to crop rotate and not use this bed like we talked about for potatoes next year. Yeah, I do. Oh, there we go. I know, see, there's always one more. Okay, so roughly 3 plants and a good sized decent batch of potatoes here. Mixed, all different sizes, but certainly edible. These fingerlings got quite big. And I think there was huckleberries in here, but I think I got those out early, and that makes sense because those were the earliest ones to actually die back. So there you go. These are potatoes from the one raised bed. That's a lot of potatoes, at least a couple dinners. So now this was one of our areas where we planted our stunt potatoes in its wine barrel. And as you can see, this foliage is not quite as dead as the stuff up in the bed, which means I probably planted it a couple days later. Either that or it just had a little bit more water later. I also am gonna, there's a tree that lives here, and the tree will be much relieved when we get these potato plants out of his way so it can get a little light before winter. And the soil is really pretty loose, so I'm just gonna feel around in here. I have a feeling that we have a lot of the purple potatoes in here as well as some of their other varieties. Luckily, they're easy to tell by their color. I'm just gonna pull the whole plant out, trying to not damage my tree here. Okay, that guy's gone. And I have lots of little potatoes near the surface. Yeah, lots of them. tons. Okay, here, we'll just pull all the plants out and go from there. How's that? So, purple potatoes are gonna win this year. Which is good, because the squirrels really liked the purple potatoes in the yard. Ah, empty, thank goodness not squishy seed potato. See how all of its nutrients have been used up and it's just barely the shell. So that's what grew that plant. And let's pull all these up so we can see better. Oh goodness, I think we're gonna have to be eating purple potatoes for a very long time. Well, and obviously this is how the density that potatoes like to grow in, because you can see all of them that I'm getting. Maybe not big ones, but those are the fingerlings, which were last year's varieties. But they're kind of prolific. I'm gonna make a mess and dump some of this on the side so I can dig deeper. Trying to be careful not to disrupt my tree here. He'll be fine though after the potatoes are gone. Oh goodness, there's some big guys. Huge fingerling potatoes. Poor little tree. Oh, goodness. As you can see, not too bad. Just an awful lot of these big purple ones that are actually supposed to be fingerlings, but they clearly liked it. That's a huckleberry. Yeah, that's a huckleberry. So we'll let these out to dry for a day or so their skins get hard enough. You can see that they were in the ground without water long enough because I can't scratch the skin off of them, which if you can by rubbing, that means that the skin needs to toughen up more. But these guys have been in here hardening up and should store really nicely. Again, yeah, you can't really scratch the skin off of them, which means they've got a good, nice they're in a good, nice storage state. But not too bad for like 6 or so plants, 6 plants at most. That's not bad. And then one more thing, this was kind of an experiment. So along mid-season, it felt like it was getting really cramped in here and I couldn't honestly remember how many potatoes I put in there. So I was pulling up a bunch of shoots and I threw them in here, which is was like my foliage compost dirt area. And I just walked away. Next morning, these guys that were all just kind of loppy and dead had sprouted again. So just kind of as an experiment, I added a bunch of dirt and watered them just to see if they would grow potatoes. So I guess we can try some and see if they grew potatoes or if they're just trying to and it was too late in the season. They're so transplanting potatoes. Actually, you can transplant potatoes, at least for new potatoes. That's kind of cool. This was an experiment. Oh yeah, lots of little baby guys. But those are going to be wonderful for little potato salads, or to pretend and be fancy pants. I'm probably going to let that guy over here go and wait until the very last minute, and then see how big I could actually get them. But that's not. At least you get a couple for ones I was just going to throw out because they were hogging. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, these guys are little. So that's what I planted. I pulled up some that looked like that with just a little bit of foliage, say kind of look like that with that on the end. So imagine that, and I pulled it up and I just replanted it halfway through the season. So that's kind of cool to see that they actually will regrow I never thought you could transplant a potato plant, but I guess you can. Anyways, that's it for now. I'll let you know how these guys did over here. Now we're going to take a look at some of your photos. We're starting with our seed potatoes, picture there, New Orleans, the huckleberry and the golden. And these are some of Heather's potatoes, beautiful, healthy. She grew all 3 varieties. And just a kind of a quick example of some of the sizes. Even the little guys are harvestable, edible, and good. Then we have Heather at Slow Foods, a demonstration garden in Truckee, and she did them in a raised bed, and those are some super healthy plants. Then we have Joyce and Roger, her helper, who grew them in a bag. Pretty good sized potatoes, and potatoes all ready to be stored after they've been cured. This is Cole and Kara's canoe. I included this one because you can see the artichoke the soil levels look quite a bit higher, and they opted to grow the potato plants in the forefront lower and then hill them up, so really good job. A good soil example, one of their raised beds, healthy plants coming up, room for hilling up. Example of how to grow them in bags and how they look when they come up in bags. Then they also did a bucket. You can see they used the Meeks bucket, I love it, and about the size of some of their huckleberries. That is Kelly. They're beautiful, and you can see just the stems are dying back, and that's what she got. Absolutely beautiful potatoes, good size, healthy, and oh my gosh, haul, massive haul there. A good example of how you just cure them with the dirt on them so that they store longer. And then this is one I believe from Cole, a plant in the bag, which the beauty of the bags is that you can move them around to kind of chase the sun. That guy needed to be moved around a little bit more. And then the last one is Suzanne. And those New Orleans, that was a lot of New Orleans, and it's absolutely fantastic picture. So good job everybody, and hope to see you next year.